Got a little mix here. I like it. I was good weekend, eventful weekend. So that was fun, right? You have a good time? Did you have a good time this weekend? You had a great time this weekend. Yeah. So welcome back. Monday. Game week. It's game week. We got that going for us. Which game? Yeah. I don't know which game. What is the other game we're referring to? You got a meeting today. I'm excited about that. So that'd be fun. Yeah,
Mickey, you want to clean your palate first. Like, is there anything you just been dying to tell the people or anything? Like, get it out now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's a good one. That was a good one. Yeah. 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 Wow. Okay. That's awesome, man. That's a good weekend story. Yeah.
My grandbaby started kindergarten today.
Oh, congratulations. What? Okay, if you don't mind me asking, I don't need details, but is she in Michigan or Tennessee?
She's in Michigan.
Okay, I didn't know where she was maybe starting school. Well, that's cool. All right.
I got a group message with her little pictures, right?
Yeah.
So I did a little heart eyes, right?
Uh-huh.
And of course, LaDon has to do the heart eyes and the heart emoji.
Oh, yeah.
And just like, what are we doing here?
Oh, yeah. She did the heart eyes, the heart emojis, everything. Yeah. It's like, come on.
Yes, make sure
calm down.
You went up, So. Okay, so that's about as positive as you're going to get this morning.
It's my phone.
You're a little rusty.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so I'll bring everybody up to speed.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, on Friday, the release of the audio, and the sentencing of the Dino Gaudio, Chris Mack situation happened, and the University of Louisville decided that a suspension for Coach Chris Mack was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, they decided a public suspension was necessary. A suspension that will take place for Coach Mack the first month of the season. So just making sure we're all on the same page. A full month, 0 contact with assistant coaches, 0 contact with players, and roughly $220,000 because he will not be paid for any of those. And that announcement was made on Friday as well. Now, this happened on Friday. I've had a lot of time to think about it and dissect it, and everybody's had a chance to leak fake rumors and fake stories. So here's what I'm going to do. In a situation of hypothetical, I will say hypothetical. I will not separate the athletic department and the president's office. I mean, sometimes I will refer to individual, entities, the president's office, the board, the president's office, the athletic department, or Ben Styree. I may refer to them, but I'm not going to separate them because, from their announcement, it was a joint decision.
Mhm.
Okay, with that being said, what the University of Louisville has experienced through this suspension has basically shown us that there is a certain level of ineptitude in the department, in the decision being made towards the University of Louisville. Not only that, if this suspension holds up, it will have ramifications that will absolutely guarantee the University of Louisville will not be a top premier program ever again. If the suspension levied by this board, the athletic director, the president's office, if this suspension holds up, it is a message to the University of Louisville entire fan base, support staff, business partners, and everything, that we will be unable to put like I said, a top tier product. And I don't just mean sports. I mean the conditions and parameters that you have set moving forward will cripple this university. And I do mean absolutely cripple. And this is no overreaction. This is not defending Chris Mack, the individual coach. This is a step in a process you've taken that, I'll reset this. You punish Coach Mack, or let's just say the University of Louisville basketball. You just punished the University of Louisville's basketball coach, and you held him to a standard that you made him pay for Rick Pitino's sins, for Tom Jurich's sins, for program sins. Not only did you do that, it was an embarrassing. This is an embarrassing suspension. This is again, I'm thinking of the word. You are not. This suspension shows that there's some people in the front office who do not either know or have the university's long-term best interests in mind, or they're inadequate of doing their job. This is 100% factual. Coach Mack, again, I'm going to try to keep saying the University of Louisville basketball. I don't have to replay this situation, but Coach Mack's office is one door down from Dino Gardio's, maybe two. I've been there. It's right beside there. That decision, and if what we hear is true, if it was merely a procedural error with Coach Mack saying he will not be renewing, not firing, alerting a staff member that he has known for 30 years plus, whatever. If you cannot back a coach who says, something's uncomfortable, it's starting to get uncomfortable, I'm going to record this so I can show my athletic director, so I can do this. If you say that he is a responsible party, this suspension is 10 times more embarrassing than the act of the Dino Guardia and Chris Mack situation. 50 times more embarrassing, the suspension that you've given this coach. Even the judge called this kind of a petty thing. Think about this. The judge who handled an extortion case heard all the same things the University of Louisville heard all these things and said, this is not a big deal. Paraphrasing. And the university saw fit to levy a 6-game suspension. Again, board member, president, athletic director has put this coach in a position where, first of all, you've already pushed him towards the edge. There is absolutely zero trust. There cannot be, in my opinion, there cannot be any level of trust moving forward from this one. This was a show off, agenda driven move. Now, you know what else this does? This forces everyone to be reminded that this president and board members were given to us. The board reorganization and the presidency, that happened without a lot of people's approval, but you know what, the public and the fan base said, we'll give it a shot. The Supreme Court came in and said this was an illegal procedure done to the University of Louisville. Let's not forget this. Okay, now let's talk about standards, because this is important. If Coach Mack's procedural move of saying, okay, this is a pressure situation, let me just record it because I don't really know what to do with this right now. And again, you said Rick Pitino should be responsible because he hired a guy he didn't know. Mack knew this guy for 30 years and hired him, and this happened. So you're not factoring in any of that long-standing relationship, long-term. You just said suspension off of error and procedure. Okay, now let's go into the hypothetical world, because you've basically put every single coach in a position where the most minuscule procedural error is 6-game suspension. Because listen, you can't suspend Mack and then the volleyball coach does something procedurally wrong and doesn't get the same heavy hand. So you basically assured that every single coach is going to be on the ledge of suspension at procedure. No coach in top level Division I sports would tolerate that or volunteer for that. No money is going to change that. You're either putting yourself in a position to have to overpay for any coach in the future, which is financially you are absolutely kneecapping this program moving forward. Again, if you have somebody in the department that didn't think it was a bad idea, nobody thought you could handle the suspension in-house. Nobody thought this is the worst time for public. You could wait till the week before the start of the season and say, due to some activities that occurred in the offseason, if you don't have a PR environment, or maybe the PR told you and you said, no, we're going to be heavy-handed. If you don't have people that can see the big picture on this and don't realize how bad of a decision this was, then you're unfit for the position. Board member, president, athletic director, based on this suspension, there are at one or more entities who are unfit for the position that you hold at the University of Louisville. And it has become 100% apparent. Now, let me paint you a quick picture. Walking the line of standards of being on probation. The worst thing about probation, and everybody knows it. I mean, the criminal justice system has been fighting this general argument. You're going to get a speeding ticket. If anything's going to put me back in jail, or if anything's going to put you in a fireable offense, that's why you have compliance departments. That's why you have reviews. That's why you self-report. So you can make mistakes. You can get leeway. You can have trust in your programs. Okay. I'm gonna take y'all back to a story. And this moment made me cringe. Vince Tyre, he did the alley announcement. Now I'm gonna leave this hypothetical and I'm gonna paraphrase because I don't know all the details. Okay, Vince Tyre, he did that alley announcement. Now Vince Tyre said my something to the effect of, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Did Vince Tyre not say his daughter or his family donated the property of the alley for the site? Something to that effect, right?
Something, yeah, it was something like he did.
Okay, when I heard that, okay, this is pre all this stuff. When I heard that, I cringed, right? Because I was thinking, okay, did they already own that property before he got the job? This is just me thinking at the time. This is why I cringed. I cringed because I lived through an audit of Tom Jurich, right? And these audits and people who wanted to nitpick and get Tom Jurich out of here, you know what they used? The property deals he was making to say, oh, who's that benefiting? And Tom Jurich was buying up good property for the University of Louisville to expand. They turned that around into, well, that's kind of a fine line between good business and something like that. So I cringed for Vince Tyra because I said, when somebody comes hunting for Vince or somebody comes hunting for the University of Louisville, right? You know what they're going to do? They're going to listen to that story and say, well, didn't his daughter end up getting some property? So now what happens when they're investigating him and says, well, technically there's a conflict of interest. You being the athletic director of the university and you get this property and now it's like, okay, what if you start looking at, you remember Tom Jurich, they started saying he was making too much money on some of the business deals he was doing, right? Now, what if they take Vince Tyra and say, oh, well, his daughter got introduced to some of the incoming coaches and she helped them out with their real estate and she got a cut of that, right? I lived through an exact situation almost where they used this to fire Tom Jurich. And I said, I don't want an AD that like and in principle, Steve, yeah, like hey y'all, I mean, y'all can go to anybody y'all want, but my daughter, you know, she does real estate, you know what I'm saying? She you know, you can tell her what you're looking for, right? Or that can be seen as funneling. Oh, you're funneling business to the daughter. You know what I'm saying? It could be just a homie hookup, or it could be a conflict of interest. I shuddered when that, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, if everybody's going to play this entire game on pins and needles, it's impossible. It's impossible to run a program. And again, that's just like I said, that's an example, y'all, of what took Tom Jurich, of why they deemed it fit for Tom Jurich to lose his job. So if you applied that same thing to Coach Chris Mack, you know what you did? That means we're still under the same thumb that we were supposed to be getting off from under.
Yeah.
By reorganizing the board. No, there is no that means this board is not reorganized. That means this presidency and athletic department is not reorganized. It's the same. It's the same people making the same decisions that are again. You're making it. You're putting the coaches and the program in a position where they cannot succeed. You cannot succeed if this is considered a suspendable offense. And once you get suspended, guess what? What if he really does just putting somebody on that edge of suspension all the time means you just can't do your job. The reason you have a compliance department and is because, okay, I didn't know that was a rule. Okay, this happened. Okay, we didn't know this guy accidentally. Yeah, Marques talked about an incoming recruit. His name was Reese Gaines. You know what I had to do? Go to compliance and talk about it. Hey, Marques, you know you committed a violation. What? Yeah. Well, Reese Gaines is coming here, but he hasn't signed yet, so that's an NCAA violation. Damn. Now you put this violation out there to the media, and you suspend Denny Crum. You know, somebody mad at Coach Crum just, there he goes again, committing violations out here. Yeah, well, he didn't know that he couldn't talk about an incoming freshman who has already, you know, said he's coming here and came on campus in the summer and hooped with us or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like all that good stuff. So again, you put you put the basketball coaching staff in this position. You can cancel getting your J rights. Listen. We've sat back and given as much rope as humanly possible. You did, you know, we don't know why we didn't get a Jeff Brom. We didn't know why we didn't get to go after a big name, big money coach, you know. But the Satterfield thing, like I said, it's yet to be determined, And again, I like the staff. I like it. And again, but here's the problem, Steve. And I said this last night. I only signed off on the Satterfield thing because my son had just played against Satterfield's Appalachian State team. I wouldn't have been okay with them going the cheap route on a football coach at Louisville in the ACC with the momentum we had. You know what I'm saying? Just like no coach will take this job now. Some startup, unproven coach looking for a shot. No coach will respect this job as nothing more than a stepping stone. It is a destination job to some, a stepping stone to others. This ensures permanent stepping stone status in the basketball program. 100%, because there is a board, a president, and an athletic director that say an HR mishap is a 1 month complete disassociation. And by the way, why wasn't there a public timer on Montrezl Harrell's disassociation being over? And we should have had a little tick-tock clock at the stadium. Yes, 100%. I know I changed the subject for a second, but you get my point. This decision, it is, and I'll say it, then I'll pass you the baton, Steve. This decision is either personal, intentional, or you're not fit for the job. Personal, maybe you don't like Coach Mack. Maybe somebody doesn't like Coach Mack. Board member, president, AD. Somebody may not like Coach Mack. Intentional, we've seen it happen at universities. The power structure between head coaches at a university who bring in all the money, ends up in a fight with the president who says, this is an institution of higher learning, and we'll just keep on taking all the money, and we'll use the fans and their undying support to keep supporting these coaches, to keep on funneling all the basketball money, all the football money into wherever else, whatever agenda is going somewhere else. Personal, intentional, or you don't know any better. And if you don't know any better, this university will die as a top tier program. It will be a city. It'll just be a city, whatever. It's done as a top tier program if this suspension holds. You have lost the trust of every single coach, and you have lost the loyalty and the even the luster of the job of the University of Louisville. This suspension says that's not a good job anymore. That department over there is not a good department. And you're not going to be able to bleed the fans on this one, especially during this time. It's not going to work. And I will say it proudly. Don't buy season tickets. This is so bad. Listen, buy tickets to individual games to support the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would make my voice the best way I know how. And everybody has a different way to make their voice known. But I wouldn't go for this, because again, if you're willing to stand by and watch this program be manipulated by ineptitude, like I said, and you point your finger wherever you want, don't bother telling me the rumor, because I see a coach suspended a month, a disassociated basketball program coach be disassociated when I know good and well that there is no top 50 program that was suspended. And if you say, well, they were already and they have to be, no, that means you're saying you can't run a top tier athletic program. That's what you're saying. Not, oh, they're under the thumb so much that you have to be perfect. Because it's impossible to be perfect. And in that situation, he did exactly what he thought in the pressure of that situation. And you use that to suspend him and undercut this program. Somebody in this decision, again, I would cancel, I would reject. And here's the thing. If changes occur, give me back. But y'all know how I feel about this. And you know how bad it hurts my feelings to even say this. Somebody in that department is going to cost this university everything it's built up over the last 60 years with this decision right here. And y'all know, if nothing else, I can spot a watershed moment. And this is it. I guarantee it. Lawrence, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away, my man. Lawrence, you there? Oh, okay, fire away. Lawrence, listen, I appreciate the call, man. Listen, the decision, this decision, again, I won't even be extreme and just say it's not even emotional. It's not emotional. I want everybody fired. I want, but again, if this holds, then you prove to me that you are incapable of running of the balance of a university sports program, the PR aspect of it, just everything from start to finish. You're incapable of doing this. Like I said, I know maybe it was a rush panic decision on their part, but if that's the case, so Max panic decision, but he's held to a standard of HR. And again, don't do the rumor thing. Steve said this to me last night. Don't do the rumor thing. Oh, well, there was some more stuff. Because if there was some more stuff and you just hid that part, then you're not being transparent. You sold us as an athletic department, as a president staff, you sold us on we're here to bring transparency to everything. And if everything is transparent, then every single person who wears cardinal red knows that this is not a suspendable offense under zero circumstances, other than you're lying to us. And if that's the case, it backs my point even more. If you lied about what else he did, then you're lying. Then your whole sell job is crap.
Well, I think
sorry.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue, because I know what Eric Crawford put out this morning about that we have not handed in the whole tape at first, and that's fine. What I don't like is how this was handled from the beginning. I think that even with that information, that's not what we were told. It's not what we were told the other day. I think 6 games, I think you as an administration made this worse than what it should have been.
10 times worse.
Right? Now, everything you said, I agree with. I understand this, but let me just tell the fans this. If Coach Mack stays here, and if I was a Louisville fan, I would get on my hands and knees today and pray he does, because I'm not so sure he does. If he stays and doesn't leave, I promise you, the next coach you want, think of it in your head right now. Whoever, you're not getting it. You're not getting it. Whoever it is, it's not happening. You can come up with any name you want. The University of Louisville basketball program is in and I'm just
Keith with a counterpoint
with you guys right now, is in a really scary spot. A really scary spot. If Coach Mack decides he's done here, or at this point, the way it's been sold to me, or over through press conference and different things, if it has been discussed of a possible firing of Chris Mack, this program is in serious trouble going forward. And it's and like I said, look, I love getting on here, and I love doing the this or that and just taking up for my coach and different things. But this has me legitimately nervous about the future of this program. And I'm telling you, if Coach Mack leaves or is let go, and like I said, the administration to this point has led me to believe that was discussed. Eric Crawford's article this morning has led me to believe that might have been discussed. And again, the reason why I don't hold the Eric Crawford, I think
Aaron
did a great job. The reason I don't hold that, or I'm not bringing that out, is because I shouldn't have had to read that from Eric Crawford.
Original point.
Yeah, that's something that the university should have told me. Okay, I shouldn't have had to read that from Eric.
Yeah, and how does that get to Eric Crawford?
Yeah, well, trustees.
You see the problem here?
Yes,
you see the problem.
Yeah.
So that could be tainted information.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know what I'm saying? That whole thing, like, that's why I didn't even bring it up. That's why I didn't want to bring it outside. No.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the punishment, because this is that Eric Crawford's
Mm-hmm.
of the world getting information off the table.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Eric Crawford is reporting what he was told.
Yeah.
Eric Crawford can believe it or not believe it, but Eric Crawford can say what was told to me, my inside sources. You know what that is now, Steve? Gospel.
Yeah.
And you know who's not allowed to go against the program?
Mm-hmm.
Chris Mack.
Mm-hmm.
He can't say that's bullshit. Like, he can't say something like that.
Yeah.
You know? No.
Yeah.
So nobody can speak up, but trustees can go to you see how you can change a narrative of a story?
Well, here's the problem too. Now your other coaches, if I'm Satterfield, if I'm Jeff Walls, if I'm Dan McDonald, I'm a little nervous. Because I'm saying at this point now, if he's getting 6 games, a whole month away from his team to start that can cripple a team.
Start to the year.
Yeah, this is a brutal. So I'm not saying he shouldn't have been disciplined. See, that's what some people on the text line understand. They're saying hold Mac accountable. Yeah, I agree. Whatever. You handled it wrong. You should be disciplined. There should be some discipline for this. Should be a fine. There should be something. You should have had, I'm okay with that. That's fine. I'm not arguing that. But it's a little much.
A lot much, Steve.
Yeah.
A whole lot much. And it's an embarrassing suspension.
No, it makes Louisville, the Louisville basketball program that we get on here and we try to tout as a top 6 program.
It made that whole incident look like it's Mac's fault.
Yes.
Period.
I looked at an Adam Zagoria article this weekend that said
Keith on 1, Wayne on 3.
Suspended in light of next or new extortion scandal. Yep. Mac extortion scandal. It was all that was on there.
Bozich, Mac earned his stripes.
Yeah. Right.
That article, if this is handled internally, that story didn't come out that way.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a talked out, like
Again, not saying Coach Mack shouldn't have been disciplined for this.
Right.
For the way he handled that. I believe he should have. I don't believe. I think probably, truthfully, if you went back and talked to him and Dino separately, they probably would all say they all effed up. Okay, cool. Like, yeah, I'm with that.
What do we have on one?
Keith.
Keith, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marques Maybin. What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning, guys. Let me make sure, because I got into this late, make sure nothing changed. Max still disregarded a directive by his boss to have somebody in there, and he did not have someone in there from HR when he fired Dino, right?
He did not fire him. He informed Dino his contract would not be getting renewed at the end of it.
Either way, but he was told that he was supposed to have someone in there, correct?
Afterwards.
Okay. No. Beforehand, he was told. It's a university policy, correct? It's a policy in most companies.
It's not a firing. Okay. Are you asking me a question? Or are you telling me information?
No, I just want to make sure I had the facts straight.
Okay.
Because if I did what he did, I wouldn't get suspended. I would have been fired.
I disagree.
And I'll tell you why. Because you can disagree. I live with an HR director.
That's right. Oh,
I'm telling you right now.
Whoa. You can disagree because I live with the HR. Is that
okay? Then Keith, why wasn't he fired? Keith, why wasn't he fired?
Because according to what we were reading, Vince went to battle for him. I'm telling you right now, had I done that, if my job, I would have been fired.
Then why wasn't he fired? Okay, so who are you mad at? Are you mad at Chris Mack? You mad at the university?
Or your job?
Now, first off, hold on here. I'm mad at Chris because he didn't handle and didn't follow directive, which put us in a position that could have put the. Had he not taken that?
Then why was he not fired, Keith? Why was he not fired?
That's because you got me.
Okay, then so you're saying that that's my point. You're saying the university didn't handle it the way it should have been handled then.
No. I'm saying that Chris Mack
we're just going in circles.
Was a gift.
He should have been fired. He shouldn't have been fired. And you're
no. I said I would have been fired.
Okay, so then Chris Mack should have been fired.
Being married to an HR director,
yeah, like I'm married to a nurse, and I can't tell you, and I'm not a coronavirus expert.
Stop. I was in a management position, and I'm telling you,
me too.
If I disregarded my boss, I'd have been fired.
Okay, so then Chris Mack should have been fired.
He may very well should have been. But
okay,
he didn't.
Then why wasn't he?
Let me back up. Let me get a word in. First off, I don't think the university handled it correctly in one regard. It should have been remained internal. His suspension should have started immediately. Now the question becomes: was it better to have him out for the first 6 games or during the prep? So you can disregard. You can argue with me all day long, but I'm telling you, in the real world, he would have been fired, and it's not the real world.
We're just going in circles at this point. I don't know. Yeah, like I don't know what to do. I mean,
Keith, that was terrible.
Like I feel you. Okay, then he should have been fired. I don't know. Like
you can't argue with. I used to be in management, and that's why he should get fired. And I was married to an.
But I'll listen to that argument. He just wasn't. I mean, I don't really know what point he was trying to make, but I mean, like, I'll listen to that argument. If you say no, Chris Mack should have been fired.
Yeah. Okay. So
then he should have been fired.
But here's the never-ending string.
Wayne on 3, Duke on 2.
Here's the never-ending string. Okay, the university handled it wrong. Should they get fired too?
Right. That was my question to him, but he had called and he had a point he was wanting to make, and he was not going to change his mind. So.
Thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
What's going on, Marcus and Steve? How you guys doing this morning?
Could be better, could be worse.
I hear you. I'm listening to this always. Here's my take on it. It's TBS, and I don't mean Turner Broadcasting Station or system or whatever. The whole situation was not handled correctly, and if it was a violation, if that is indeed the case, then the public needs to know. It's too many unknowns. The first thing that comes to my mind is, okay, if you knew all of this, why are you just now bringing it to forward now after the Gaudio trial?
Right. I didn't need to get this information from Eric Crawford. I know that much. Right.
And that's too many missing pieces. And then the notion of a potential new coach. How much you gonna pay the man? And whoever, if that does come to fruition, too many unknowns. The buyout, the money, and whoever it is, they're still going to be operating under the same constraints until this NCAA nonsense is finally settled. What is a new man going to be able to do?
Nothing.
Not a D thing.
Nope.
Nothing. And then on top of that, they can say what they want to say. Yeah, it's college athletics is a big business. Louisville is the top money producing college basketball program.
Used to be.
You going to throw all that away? No.
Yep.
You're not going to do that. And see, that's the whole thing. You can't do that. And what needs to be done, it needs to be a retraction or whatever you're going to do. And when they have this, all these players coming, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be ugly. As you guys always say, a PR nightmare. So we're going to see what's going to happen. My thought on it again, in closing out, all we want is the truth. And quit. And I do not want to hear anybody say we are not at liberty to say.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cop out. Give the people the facts, give the truth, and then let's deal with it. Do not, when they use that statement, we know what that is. But as always, Marques and Steve, you know what I think about you guys. You're two of the best, and I always enjoy listening. Thanks.
Appreciate the call. Who do I need to get, Nikki?
Duke on 2.
Duke, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marques Maybin. Fire away.
Hey guys, great show always. But I've got several things to point out, and maybe these are things you've already discussed because I just turned the show on. But number one, do we even have anything like this going on, even with HR violations, if the tape from Chris Mack or the recording from Chris Mack wasn't submitted as evidence of extortion? Number two, Ben DiPuti should have been in front of this, just like Diener said this morning. Should have been in front of this. Number three, I think her reasoning for doing what was done was to send a message to the NCAA that we're policing our own because of the potential violations we've created, and in hopes of reducing the sentence that's pending. Last but not least, our system is completely screwed up where you have a guy that tries to extort money out of the university and gets a fine for $1,000, yet the coach that was firing him, who really didn't do anything wrong other than violate HR circumstances, gets fined
Birdhead on 1.
and $20.
Kim on 3.
There's something wrong with this. That's pretty much all I have to say. I'll sit back and listen. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, listen, I do appreciate the call, and again, Steve maybe a little bit on a little bit further on the discipline scale, but again, if we are still going to run this program like y'all do realize there has to be some level of self-discretion. There has to be personal relationships. Coach Mack said better chemistry is why I won't be renewing your contract in 2 months or whenever. There has to be, Coach Mack has to be able to say, okay, this is what I did. This is why I made the decision. This is, okay, well, next time, this is what, hey, the rule book, technically that this wasn't a firing, but, the rule book says if you're going to do any kind of employment conversation, you need a third. Okay, well, I feel y'all, but, okay, that was kind of a judgment call, it's kind of a panic situation. Like, don't we get some leniency here? No, we're going to have to suspend you and take $250,000 and disassociate you for a month. What?
It's pretty harsh, man.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, in section C4761, technically you are having a conversation about the job status, although it's future related. This conversation, you want me out of here, don't you? Just admit you want me out of here.
I would say that's how he feels.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
No,
and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. Go.
Yeah. Tell me, and at what point do you start bringing up the Bobby Petrino rumors and say, yeah, maybe he knew he wanted him gone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's how it felt. Maybe that's how it feels at your space, where you say, you know what, y'all don't want me around. I don't want to be around. Let's go our separate ways before any more damage is done. Because this is not a suspendable offense like this. Sorry, it's not. Birdhead Ryan, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away, my man.
What's up, guys? So, Marques, Louisville Live is going to be lit after this. I mean,
golly, isn't that the truth?
You know, I mean, you're literally drawing a line in the sand and saying, you know, fans are either going to be with you or not, and it's going to be an interesting atmosphere at Louisville Live. But I got 2 points, and then I'll jump off. What really upsets me is, you know, the fact that we have whatever university has a.
You're off. Do it. All right, just pause for ID.
To the media, like that really.
Back up. 3, 2, 1.
The university that has sources on a board that leaks stuff to media, and it happens every single time with the University of Louisville. That there's always somebody on the board that's going to say something, and it really upsets me.
Yeah, like, and there's no self-policing. That's the problem. Like, there is no policing that board.
There is no policing the board. I mean, you know, I agree with what your comments this morning, Marques. I agree with all of what you said. I really do. One thing though that I'm a little irked is, you know, I don't know if this is all, you know, Linda Pootie's, you know, maybe she's on the side of Vince and they're taking the stance of, listen, the board wants him gone. We're not going to let that happen. We're going to come to an agreement and do this. And I'll say this, and I'll get your all's answers, and I'll jump off. Do you give any percentage at all that between now and November that this suspension either goes away, gets resolved, gets reduced, gets eliminated? Because there is a lot of backlash building, and I don't know from now until November if this pot is just going to boil over. And I'll get your percentage off the air. Take care and go first.
I'll say this. One of my weaknesses is my stubbornness and my conviction. You know, those are like strengths and weaknesses to me. I will move forward assuming that this is going to hold up. I will move forward assuming this suspension is going to hold up. I will also move forward with a complete vote of no confidence. And again, Birdhead Ryan, the reason I didn't separate it into board, president, or AD is because we don't know. We don't know. So I don't even want people to start like taking the latest rumor and say, well, this rumor makes a little more sense than that rumor. Because then your biases, your natural biases, you know, I already didn't, you know, hey, I didn't like Vince in the first place, or I ain't like Coach Mack in the first place, or I don't know about Neely Bendapudi in the first place. You know, those biases kick in when you start applying rumors and Crawford articles and leaks. And, you know, like, we don't have individual facts, of that sway your feelings one way or the other. But all I know is the thing we know is HR error in alerting a coach he would not be extended. I know what the judge said about the case, calling it, you know, basically extremely petty, should have been handled another way. And I know who got the harshest punishment. I don't have to read the NCAA letting them know, if that's the case, you sacrificed a basketball head coaching job to posture for the NCAA, or maybe somebody at NCAA said you suspend him or else. Well, either way, you sold your coach out. You sold your coach out. You sold the highest money maker out for a non-fireable offense outside of what Keith thinks,
or a fireable offense,
and
if so, then you were negligent on that part. That was the point I was trying to make earlier. Then you should have fired him immediately.
Who should I hit next?
Let's go to Frank next.
Probably need to go to break soon at some point.
I could. You know what? What we could do.
We have really screwed Nikki V.
Nah, let's put that on the mixtape.
A long break. We'll take Frank and then play out.
Okay. All right. So Frank and then we'll play out. All right.
Yeah.
So hang tight, Boombox. Hang tight, John.
Frank, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
All right, real quick, and I know y'all going against the break. Two things that I want to look at, and then I'm going to hang up. From a fan standpoint, I'm concerned about this coach and any other coach for any other sport, because if you're looking at your AD and your administrative staff not supporting the coaches, then you're going to be afraid of any coach for that matter that will be interested in any job that the university has that's open. Now, as an alumni and as a donor and supporter of the University of Louisville, I'm looking at the competency of our president as well as our athletic director. And so what happens is that when you put your money into something and it's not stable, are you going to be willing to continue to invest your money into it? So that's my two concerns as an alumni and as a financial supporter, howbeit large or small, what is $1 or $1,000, you're not going to invest your money into anything if it doesn't look stable, especially from the inside. So I'm looking at the integrity of the board. I'm looking at the integrity of the president as well as your athletic director. So I'm gonna hang up and certainly appreciate you all taking this call. But right now I'm looking at our university, man, and it's looking really, really bad. And I've never said that in my 40-something years of fandom, but I'm telling you, it's not. This is not a good look, and I'm really concerned.
Listen, I appreciate the call. I mean, again, a vote of no confidence. University is being put at a competitive disadvantage.
Yeah.
Moving forward, and again, the whatever appeals process, if this turns into a a standoff, or yeah, we're doing it this way, and that's how it is. Listen, it hurts me to say. I heard the pain in Frank's voice. I would not spend my money. I would not spend my money on, especially things like guaranteed. We can count up a season ticket, and we know we got no. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it till I get some accountability out of this program. And I hate saying this, y'all. I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. Again, I would find a way to individually support games. Like the landscape is changing on tickets anyway. I pay and go to games, and support the kids and support my coach. I support the hell out of this coach, support the hell out of these kids. But I would not just let this organization do what it does, continue to just leak stories and somebody not be honest and upfront and answer to, the questions. You can't run a program like that. And people can't support a program being ran like that. Again, I hate digging up, the fact that how this program was even put, or how the boards and everything was put together in the first place. But that's never going to go away. I thought you were going to give us a little play out, but give everybody a little rhythm on that one.
Ready to make something great? At GE Appliances, we do it every day, building appliances people depend on. GE Appliance Park is hiring full-time for all shifts. Join our manufacturing production team and be part over 100 years of American manufacturing. Apply today at makeitathepark.com. Make a difference? Make it at GE Appliance Park. Makeitathepark.com.
Miss anything for your favorite shows? Head over to the GE Appliances Podcast Center on ESPNLouisville.com. Apply today at makeitathepark.com.
Here's what you missed on The Drive with Mark Ennis.
I swear to you, I mean this. There's something whiplash-like about fumbles. after big plays or in big plays. Like Malik, like you said, it's like a 30-yard run. You're like, hell yeah, we just flipped the field. We're in field goal range.
Game up.
And then you fumble at the end of that run. It's like, oh, not only do you not have that, it's like now they have the ball.
The Drive, weekdays 3 to 6 on 93.9 The Ville. An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold crab, tap, can, or bottled beer? 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
Oh, ship! I need to get this package downtown by noon.
Don't worry. There's a brand new on-demand delivery service by Z-Trip. It's Z Shipping.
Are you shipping me?
No, we're shipping your packages.
For the quickest, affordable, on-demand courier service, visit zshipping.com. zshipping.com. Let Z-Ship help you with your delivery needs. That's zshipping.com.
Hey everybody, Steve Rummage here. And if you have listened to 93.9 The Ville over the last few months, you know I've reminded you of 3 simple words. Call Josh Jarbo. Josh is a licensed realtor and owner of RE/MAX Alliance, and with the spring market heating up, he wants to make your home buying or selling process as efficient as possible by offering a guaranteed sale program and instant offers on commercial listings. And if that wasn't enough, up to $5,000 seller credit by mentioning you heard it right here. So don't wait any longer and contact Josh Jarbo at 502-216-7590 or joshjarbo@remax.net.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial #LAW on your cell phone. That's #529, offices Louisville.
Taco Bell presents a get-out-of-bedtime story. It's time to wake up from this amazing dream, even though you're jet skiing on lemonade. How extreme! And oh, look at that, you just won the lottery. Is that a castle? Take the keys, it's your property. What's better than swimming in space? Just wait for the big reveal. It's Taco Bell breakfast and it's actually real. So it's time to wake up and bid your dreams farewell. Because toasted breakfast burritos are waiting for you, only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell locations near you during breakfast hours only.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses and automatically adjusts to keep you both effortlessly comfortable. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save 50% on the new Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus special financing. Ends Monday. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
We are Louisville's hometown sports station. ESPN 680, 105.7, and 93.9 The Ville, with the most play-by-play of the biggest events, including the NCAA tournament and Final Four.
Wire-to-wire winner for the Baylor Bears.
The College Football National Championship.
The Crimson Tide will not be denied.
The NFL and Super Bowl 54.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are Super Bowl 55 champions, led by Tom Brady.
The NBA Finals.
The Lakers conquer the bubble.
The World Series.
The Los Angeles Dodgers have won the World Series.
And the Kentucky Derby.
And they're into the stretch.
Featuring exclusive coverage of the Triple Crown. Big game, big race, one place. ESPN 680, 105.7, and 93.9 The Ville.
We are in the thick of summer, and with the hottest days of the year ahead, you are about to find out how strong your cooling system is. And if you find
Got John to start here.
the long summer ahead, then call DFH Company today at 968-6222. Right now, when you buy a qualifying Train HVAC system, receive 18 months special financing. It's hard to stop a train, so call DFH 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Subject to credit approval.
My girlfriend is really into fashion, and she's particular about what she likes. That's why I went to Shane Company for her engagement ring. I wanted to get it right, and I knew I definitely needed some help. So I met with one of their jewelry consultants. The only thing I knew going in was that she wanted a platinum ring, and her favorite color is pink. He showed me tons of ring settings in platinum. I learned it's a premium metal that develops a patina over time, and platinum makes a great family heirloom, which is really cool. We picked the perfect style for her. Then we looked at all the options for center stones. He told me that Shane Company is known for their vibrant natural sapphires. I liked the idea of doing something totally unexpected, so I chose an awesome pink sapphire for the center of her ring. I knew I nailed it. My girlfriend, my fiance, said she couldn't have imagined a more beautiful ring.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Download the ESPN Louisville app. Search ESPN Louisville for streaming, podcasts, and the latest program schedule.
Miller Lite pregame show will start at 6 p.m. on all ESPN Louisville stations. Then directly following the game, it's the Miller Lite postgame show with Mark Ennis on all ESPN Louisville stations and the ESPN Louisville app. So that's right. You heard it on Monday, Labor Day, folks. While you guys are enjoying a beer and you're enjoying your day off, we will be here for you. We'll have shows all day that day.
Maybe.
Some will be live from Atlanta. Some
I'll probably be disassociated by then.
We'll probably be live from Atlanta. We'll see.
They'll be so mad at me by then. John, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Marques, thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. And as a former student of U of M, a donor, a 30-year season ticket holder, a father of a speed school graduate, and a son-in-law who's a business school graduate, grandchildren who hope to go to Louisville and play football someday. I'm very, very disappointed, okay? And I know, Marques, you're going to have the ear of Dr. Neely Bendaputi today, so I hope I think I've got an idea what you're going to be talking about. And I heard your opening monologue, and I'm with you 100%. Let me tell you how this should have been handled, or I think could have been handled from the beginning that would have avoided all of this. You know, Chris needed to make changes with the coaches. I think we all agree on that. And, you know, I fully supported him 100% to do that. But he didn't do that on a wing and a prayer. He discussed that with his boss beforehand. I will guarantee you. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. At that discussion, I want to know if it came up about severance packages for either of these coaches and what the answer was from the person who would have to authorize the severance package. I realize that their contracts were up. I get all that. But if someone was looking for a severance package and we said no, and we didn't want to spend $100,000 or $150,000 to handle this the way numerous other schools and business organizations do, then we're not very smart, and we're costing ourselves a hell of a lot more money than that severance package would have ever cost. That's my statement. Someone needs to ask that of Dr. Bendapudi and Vince Tyree. And if the answer was no, because we didn't have money or weren't willing to go out and find money, that's not very smart. That's what I got to say, and I wanted to know what you think about that.
John, I appreciate the call. I think there was no severance package
Chris on 2
discussed because it was a shock. I will say, but this is why I talked about it. This is a heat of the moment conversation because it was obvious that Dino Gaudio was just caught off guard in general. You know that he wouldn't be extended. So in his mind, 30-year coach. I've been working with this dude. There's no way. But here's the thing: most people, sports athletes, you know what they think? They think they'll play one more year, a couple more years, then they get cut. Then they realize that their mental finances had them going another 2 years. They say everybody does that with their jobs. Okay, next year I'll save. Next year I'll start saving for, I'll do a better job saving next year. He was caught off guard, in my opinion. This is 100% my opinion, John. I think Dino was caught off guard with the fact that he wouldn't be his contract wouldn't be renewed. I assume he just assumed it. So there was no time to even discuss severance. It wasn't a thing. You know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't have been a thing because it was a shock.
Yeah. And I mean, in Dino's defense, if you let me do that for a second, I mean, look, we just had a team that was 7th going into the tournament, and this year, Dino even says it in the things. I mean, if we had played an extra 4 games, we'd have won and been in the tournament, So, I don't think
it caught him off guard.
It
caught him off guard.
I've tried to stay away from the
that part of it's not even about that part.
Because at this point, like I don't think like I'm not getting into the weeds with the Dino is a crappy guy or anything.
Chris,
I'm
thanks,
just not doing that.
Thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
What's up, Maybin, Steve?
What's up, man?
So here's my thing. It feels like a bad reaction from the university, not so much of what the policy was, but because it went wrong. If my timetable is even halfway right, he had already talked to Luke and obviously did not have someone in the room with him when he talked to him. It went okay, so nobody said anything. In my job where I work at, if I went to my manager and said, hey, I'm going to have to let such and such go, they would say, okay, let's schedule this meeting together so we'll both be in the room. It wouldn't be a thing where I would do it and then come back and talk to him, because then that would be a problem. If he had already let Luke go and they knew about it, and then this thing with Gino just went horribly bad, I feel like they're more mad that it went bad than he didn't follow the policy, because he obviously didn't follow the policy before, or else they would have been in the room with him with Gino too. I'll get up and I'll listen to you.
Or everybody's just in CYA mode.
Yeah.
Boombox thing.
Boombox Mike, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Morning, guys. Morning, guys. I'll tell you what a day. What a day. I think you hit it right on the nail Saturday night, bro. And the word of the day is excessive. Just like a lot of these guys that are just quick to figure out a way to get rid of Mac. It's a little excessive. The suspension, 6 games is excessive. So look at this. I looked up a stat. I just went on Google. I was like, who is suspended 6 games? I went and searched suspended 6 games. The one I found was in '96, and it was Dennis Rodman headbutting a ref for $20,000. That doesn't seem excessive at all. Now, an HR rep deal in 6 games sounds pretty excessive to me, fellas. I don't know. You know what? Hopefully it gets down to maybe like 1 or 2. And other than that, I'll see y'all at the Eastern Kentucky game. Y'all have a good one.
No doubt, man. Yeah. I mean, yeah, think about that. It's like, and I know
Dana, who's a dude.
said it nauseam.
Wait. Say that again in my ear.
Dana, who's the dude.
Yeah. Okay. Dana, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Guys, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Been a while since I called, so I'm gonna make this one short and get it straight to the point. Now, I heard something earlier. A caller said that basically making the assumption that Chris Mack had gone to Vince Kyrie and probably discussed getting rid of Dino Gadio beforehand, correct?
Yeah.
So, assuming that happened, and I'm not pointing the blame at any one individual, but shouldn't that have come up in a meeting that he should have had an HR rep there? I mean, you would think just during an organic conversation, maybe, or was Vince assuming that, I don't know, that Chris is a grown man, he should already know that? I mean, I'm just a little lost on how that detail.
See that Dana, I appreciate the call. That's kind of how that's why I didn't want to go to the room
Joel
conjecture kind of thing. You know, I just didn't even want to go down that road because we're still talking about letting a guy know that his contract is not being renewed of 30 years. Like if there's no latitude in that one, and that's a 6-game suspension, $250,000, you know what I'm saying, and a public suspension like that, it's just like that's just overkill. No matter, like I said, if he just said, hey, if when you had that conversation with Dino, I need to be in there, and then you said, no, screw it, I'm gonna go have it. Yeah, okay, I get it. Just that's a direct order. But again, that's why I purposely didn't want to get like into the direct weeds. But anything else you want to add to that?
No, I'm good, man. I just wanted to bring you, as always, I love you guys. Love the show, man.
Appreciate the call. Joel, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Say his name.
Yeah.
Fire away, my man. Yep.
Fellas, I'm telling you, man, it's so crazy. Is this stuff just happened at Louisville, man? Because it's like, I know I tweeted y'all the other day, or it might have been yesterday too. I don't know if you guys have talked about it or not too, but even like the WHAS local news in Louisville coming out and saying we're the UK station. Like, where does that go on anywhere? I've just never seen so much like weirdness. I mean, because I don't see this going on at other universities, and it's just, I mean, the bottom line is you guys are right on the spot. I mean, somebody in that program, I don't know if it's obviously the board, Neely, Tyree, whoever. I mean, Tyree brought Mac in, so I can't see him, but somebody wants this guy out because, like, to me, on top of that, guys, let's talk about the timing. This press release or whatever was released on the max suspension at 1:00 on a Friday, not the news dump at the end of on 1:00. Some kind of statement was being made by releasing that thing at 1:00. And then all the hype that Louisville off-season basketball has been getting with the players they've got in, their transfers, they think the team's going to be good, etc. What's the way to cripple all that momentum, all that positivity? Suspend your head coach for 6 games
publicly.
Publicly at 1:00 on a Friday because of an HR violation. First of all, too, man, Marcus and Steve, think about this. If you guys were friends for 30 years, Mac's in there with, saying this with his buddy. thinking he's talking to his buddy for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? It was probably just like natural type of thing. Like it's a hard conversation. I wouldn't have thought about, hey, let me bring in this HR rep real quick. And I just wouldn't have. So, I mean, and then you're going to bring up the tiddlywinks of a 30 for 30 video. And guess what, guys? COVID was last year. You know how many programs you could go across the whole country and see that they use GA to help practice? Everybody in the freaking country. But at Louisville, it's, oh, man, we got these violate with a video and GA's practice. Come on, man. I mean, the bottom line is that Marques are going to that meeting. Somebody somewhere, board of trustees leaking stuff, whatever, or somebody out there, they just want this guy out. Basically, like you said, Steve, Mac's going to leave, and I don't blame him one bit. Why would you not? And then after that, like you said, name any coach you want. Who's coming here, man?
Jerry
Too much disconnect. That's all I got, fellas. But this is the biggest thing. Louisville is weird.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nah, man. I appreciate it, Joe.
Haley, why'd you get cute on Louisville like that?
That was really not a smart tweet.
Cody.
It's just not a good tweet.
Haley,
that was really not a good tweet.
What?
And then got mad that Louisville fans got mad. It's like, hang on. No, you don't get to victim this thing.
Make it make sense.
Haley,
you don't get to victim this thing, man. No.
And she went total victim.
No, you literally said we're the UK station. The other three stations give you okay.
And
cool.
Listen,
well, don't get mad when Louisville fans say, "Cool,
but Steve,
we're going to the other three stations."
But Steve, I almost would have let it go until I saw that exclamation point.
Yeah,
because that means you meant it.
Yeah,
that means you went through the trouble of "We are the UK station!" exclamation point.
Yeah, it's like okay, so don't be mad when I say, "Cool." I'm never going to do anything with WHS again.
Listen, Steve, I am a news station in Mobile, Alabama, right? And then I say
Tuscaloosa.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah,
in Tuscaloosa.
Go to the center.
And I say we're the Auburn station.
The other three have plenty Crimson Tide content. I mean, listen.
Because we are the Alabama in this.
Haley, and then mad that people got mad,
and they're trying to they're calling my boss. And
gosh, dang right they are. I bet they are. And look, when the ratings go down, they're all probably gonna look at you at the table and go, "Why'd you tweet that?"
Thanks. Yeah. So Christmas bonuses will not be shared this year. Everybody knows who to thank. The severance packages have taken a 20% cut.
The people from WDRB are driving by in their new cars.
Thanks, Haley.
We're doing fine. I don't know. Y'all good?
And then, Steve, as if it couldn't get any lower, I was telling Nikki about a very cruel. You know, Steve, you've said this before. You've accused me publicly. There's been a couple situations where I'm not beneath. Listen, I'm human. And sometimes I use not sometimes. Every blue moon I use my disability to a slight bit of advantage.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Steve, did she go to all the things going on in the world?
Oh, yeah.
Hurricane Ida.
Yeah.
COVID-19 spreading.
Mm-hmm.
And people, oh, Haley.
Yeah.
Not like this.
No, you have to own this one. You tweeted it.
And thank God for Anna.
Listen, I'll say this, man.
Listen, if you don't back me like Anna back Haley,
yeah, I know.
I don't want you as my friend.
No, she's a real
ride or die.
Yeah. No, look, I ain't even mad at her, man. I'm like, look, she's a real one.
Oh, we got
listen, but yeah. Go ahead,
Cody. Fire away, my man.
Hey, what's up, guys? So, excuse me. Between the Louisville stuff, Jake Paul being the face of boxing, and me accidentally sleeping from 6 in the afternoon till 2 in the morning yesterday. The winds just keep on coming, guys. Like, seriously.
It's been a good 12 hours.
Oh, dude, no, I was so upset. Okay, so it's like Marques, has that meeting between Vince, Neely, and Mac and the former players, has that happened yet?
It has not.
When is that going to happen?
Well, if you listen to Perrin telling everybody, it's happening tonight.
Tonight.
Okay, dude, I am trusting you to please urge them to reduce that suspension, man. My God, this is just the suspension was trash, but the timing of it was probably the worst thing you could have ever done.
Right.
I mean, like, because I know for a fact that suspension just didn't happen that day. Like, the coach had to have known about the suspension for a couple of weeks. Like, if you would have released it sooner, I mean, yeah, it still would have been like, that is a major overkill, but why are you going to release that the day that the sentencing has happened? Like, is there just, do they just not get it? Does nobody in this administration have any street smarts on how stuff is going to be
spelled?
Man, but I hope that the players get a chance to make their case. Luckily, I've got a lot of faith in this coaching staff. So even if the suspension it stays or goes down to 2 games or whatever, I've got faith that Mike Teguise can do a good job, or Ross McMains, whoever they want to take over. But man, dude, like I hope that you get a chance to plead to them, like, don't do this. This is not going to be good for the university. Like, trust me. Like, I know the public. This isn't going to be good. So, I'm really tired right now. So sorry if I'm scrambling, but I had to get that off my chest. But y'all are doing such an awesome job, and we're going to be okay, guys. Like, winning, I still take Cures all, and I think that we're still going to have a great year. So thank you, guys.
No, listen, I appreciate the call. And as far as the meeting goes, I will say this. I'll say it in the nicest way possible. I think I can get an ear in a different environment. And I think this meeting is more for people who have not had a chance to, you know what I'm saying, to be in the position where I am, you know, like last time everything was open, president was sitting behind myself and Steve courtside, you know, like I said, press box classics. I can get AD's ear and the president's ear at other times, but there'll be a lot of guys in here who haven't had the opportunity.
Sure.
To even be.
And there's gonna, I mean, they say it publicly, there's gonna be one's gonna show his rear end, and you know, and that's fine. Okay, cute. And then hopefully some productive things can happen after that.
Yeah, I definitely, like I said,
hopefully he follows through with his promise and get the hell on out of there, so that way we can actually have a meeting now.
Yeah, a productive meeting.
Yeah.
So who we got, Nikki? Sorry about that. Keith, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marques Maybin. Fire away. Keith, you there?
No, this is Matthew.
Oh, Matthew. Okay.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Thanks, Nick.
No problem, guys. Hey, I agree with everybody that 6-game suspension is outrageous in light of what Vince said in the press conference the other day. I've got to believe that something is coming from above that relates to any potential level 2 violations. I mean, everybody keeps on talking about on the Diener show what exactly is a 30 for 30. But, you know, I think that it's quick for us to brush over the fact that we had the hooker scandal. And while we went on probation, the next thing happened. We haven't had the IARP yet. And these are low-level violations, but nonetheless, we're supposed to be super squeaky clean. And potentially, there's dumb stuff like this that's rearing its ugly head.
Yeah.
Don't you think that has to have something to do with? Everybody knows you can't fire somebody, but he wasn't being fired. The contract wasn't being renewed. But you need HR there. You need a witness. So that being said, I think somebody is, you know, swinging the axe saying we've got to be squeaky clean. Don't you think that it has to come to that?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, like I said, I know what you're saying.
Appreciate it. Appreciate the call.
There's a difference between, for sure. There's a difference between squeaky clean. I mean, you can't, like, what's squeaky clean again? I keep coming back to this. Maybe I'm wrong. 30-year not renewed. I don't feel like I need Vince Tyree in here for me to tell Dino Gaudio that his contract won't be renewed.
Yeah.
Can we get that benefit of the doubt at least?
Yeah.
That I don't need Vince Tyree or Neely Bendapudi in here for me to tell Dino Gaudio.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, and again, I know. I think it was Matthew. Sorry about that. I get what he's saying on that too. Like, yes, if those violations were
Ross,
sure, then yeah, we need to have that conversation. Okay, that's not. I don't think that's anything that's been proven, or I think they did self-report. I guess whatever. Now, again, are those level 2s? Well, that's something we'll have to talk about. But that doesn't factor into the suspension.
That's what
you
they
know
said.
What I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's what they're saying. So that's my point is you're not going to get another coach to come in here at this point with what's happened. And if they think that, and again, like that the job is that heavy-handed. That's a massive suspension. That's a whole month of the season, and you can't even talk to the team.
I know we keep saying that, Steve. It's just like, listen, this is a world ender.
You can't.
This is a world
even
ender.
talk to the team
or the coaches.
Like I can have nothing. I mean, like Drew said it this morning. He's got to leave town because you can't. You got to get out of here.
But again, it's like we talked about. Some probations are just like, okay, this is a ridiculous probation. Like if I get a speeding ticket during the whole time I'm on probation, or if I'm like the Kentucky kid, like he avoided jail time and then he pulled out a gun on somebody in frat house.
Yeah,
Dougie Fred on 1.
Where he was on probation.
Ross on 2.
Ross, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up, man?
So I want to say that, I just hear me out. Okay. So over this past 18 months, we've learned that there's a lot more things.
I got you.
Sports. That being
You back up. 3, 2, 1.
a lot of joy to people's lives, mine included. That's why we listen. That's why this is why this is a divisive topic, because this is our school that we love, and our school is connected to our city. So there's something to be said about that. If Neely or Vince, anybody is listening to this, I hope you're listening very well, because what the fans are telling you is this was a massive mistake. This was an egregious punishment. This did not need to happen. And I don't know what's going on. I have my own personal beliefs, because I feel like it goes all the way back to when Bevan got rid of the entire board. I think it goes back to that. It's going back to that. That being said,
You want this Dougie guy and then break? I'll X the phones.
what kind of about face that they have to do it, and the worry or the PR hit that they're going to take, the PR hit and the fallout from this right here is much worse than turning around and going back.
And somebody didn't know that is what's frightening. Somebody did not know that.
Yeah, and there are plenty of schools that turn around and walk punishments back. They do it all the time. And that being said, what I'm worried about is that, like you said, Marques or Steve, both of y'all said, this is going to handcuff the school for a long time. So even if we walk this back with this same power level of hierarchy of leadership that we have in place, is it going to matter at this point that they've already done that?
Again, I appreciate the call, Chris. Yes,
Ross.
Oh, sorry, Ross.
Yeah.
I do think cooler heads can prevail. Cooler heads can prevail. This is damaging right now, but it's still kind of like one of those, okay, hey, we reacted this way, you have to react better, like it can't. Again, I'll move forward assuming that a staff is in place right now that like I said, is not going to be functional for the success of the University of Louisville moving forward until I see something that proves otherwise. We got Dougie Fresh. Thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hello?
Yep, fire away.
Yeah. Hey, got a question. Because I'm just trying to piggyback on what you said because you made a valuable point. Who takes an HR, okay, this like hypothetically speaking, if he had walked in there, Dino, and saw that Vince was there, you think that guy wouldn't have been terrified? You know, that's open door. You walk in a place like that, you would have been terrified. Your eyes would have got big if you seen a ghost on Halloween night. There's something get ready to go on here, and he'd have probably pissed all over himself. But anyway, second thing is, I was going with what you had said. Now think about if you and Steve, you guys good. Now, what kind of relationship would you have if you had went in there and talked to Steve about something, just nonchalant speaking now, don't get me wrong. And one of y'all got a phone hidden up under the table, recording everything. Where are we going with this? It's every year we've got some kind of animosity, and it's crazy. It's every year. Does anybody else talk about this? Give me some insight on this, Marques. I'm waiting for your help, brother. I love you guys, man.
Listen, it happens other places. It doesn't get covered other places the same way. That's for sure. And I will say, this with the the tirade thing sitting in there. Here's the thing. That story would have came out that Dino said, man, I went in there and I'd known him for 30 years, and he went in there and I had Vince Tirade in there and they were firing me. So it would have been a terrible, terrible story about how he got ambushed for that one. We'll take our last commercial break. Middays with Marques Maybin on 939 The Ville.
Louisville football has another exciting slate of Saturdays coming this fall as in-state rival Kentucky and ACC foe Clemson return to Cardinal Stadium. The Tigers and Wildcats highlight an exciting 7-game home slate that also includes EKU, Central Florida, Virginia, Boston College, and Syracuse. You won't want to miss another season of Cardinals football, so get your season tickets today. Call 502-GO-CARDS or visit gocards.com/FB tickets to find the right fit for you.
Football's right around the corner. Get in on all the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. With the NFL returning, DraftKings is giving new customers $200 in free bets instantly when you bet $1 or more on any football game. And all customers can participate in the DraftKings Week 1 no-brainer. For opening night, all customers can double their money as long as Tampa Bay doesn't lose by 74 points. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code WLCL to receive $200 in free bets when you place a $1 bet on any football game. That's code WLCL to get your free $200 in free bets instantly for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older, Indiana only, new customers only, minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. One per customer, restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold crab, tap, can, or bottled beer? 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
The only thing worse than hiring no law firm after your injury is hiring the wrong law firm. When thousands of people call us every year asking to help them change law firms, I wonder why they ever call the other firm. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good afternoon or morning. I'm Nick Valvano, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Wooded View Golf Course. Book your tee time today, woodedviewgc.com. U of L kicking the season off on the gridiron with Ole Miss Monday, September 6th at 8 p.m. That line currently favors the Rebels by 9.5. Head coach Scott Satterfield, he'll meet the media. We'll take that live over on ESPN 680 105.7 on the V Show at noon. New developments in the Chris Mack suspension stories. WDRB's Eric Crawford wrote sources told him that some of the U of L board weren't thrilled in the verbiage used in the tape discussion with Dino Gaudio, and that full tape discussion wasn't initially provided by Mack. Eric Crawford. He'll join the V Show at ESPN over on ESPN 680 1057 coming up at 1:15 with more. The NFL preseason wrapped up this weekend. Good news for the Ravens. They topped Washington 37-3. Bad news, running back J.K. Dobbins out for the season with an ACL tear. To the Colts, they topped Detroit 27-17. Sorry, Marcus. T.Y. Hilton, he's likely to miss the season start due to a disc issue in his neck, says head coach Frank Reich. The Bengals, they fell to Miami 29-26. To the Diamond, the Bats, they fell to Indy 7-6. Splitting the series, they return to a 12-game homestand tomorrow. The Reds, they lost the rubber match to Miami 2-1. They'll start a series with Mitch's Cardinals. We miss you, Mitch, at 6:10 over on ESPN 680 1057. Over on the pitch this weekend, Racing, they fell to Houston 1-0, and Lou City, they fell to Birmingham 2-1. Other nuggets from the weekend. On the links, St. X alum Justin Thomas tied for 22nd in the BMW Championships. And with the Ponies Essential Quality, he outdueled Midnight Bourbon to win the Travers. This Sports Center update is also brought to you by Wing Zone. Try the ESPN Louisville special, 10 boneless wings, wedges, and a drink for $9.39. More Middays with Marques Maybin is next. This is Sports Center.
Hey, everybody. Steve Rummage here. And if you have listened to 93.9 The Ville over the last few months, I reminded you of 3 simple words. Call Josh Jarbo. Josh is a licensed realtor and owner of RE/MAX Alliance, and with the spring market heating up, he wants to make your home buying or selling process as efficient as possible by offering a guaranteed sale program and instant offers on commercial listings. And if that wasn't enough, up to $5,000 seller credit by mentioning you heard it right here. So don't wait any longer and contact Josh Jarbo at 502-216-7590 or joshjarbo@remax.net.
Maybe because I run a company, but, HR is a significant issue. I mean, you don't have to think too far back to Bobby, and his issue with his subordinate. And, I'm a little perplexed, and I understand people would love this to go away. I know in the past, the administration had signed a lot of pretty lucrative severance checks combined with a do not disclose. And I don't understand the criticism for the administration when Mac could have easily handled this very differently.
I listen. I'm not saying that HR is not a very, very important thing. I just say I believe space for latitude and kind of I like I said, I understand what you're saying, and I do appreciate the importance of HR, but I still think this is absolute was sledgehammer on this one.
So he would have been fired anywhere else.
I don't agree with that at all. I'm gonna move right along. Jim, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marques Maybin. Fire away. Jim, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep, fire away.
Oh, okay, I got. Hold up. Just hit me in the background. All right. Just listen to other callers. I've been all over the place. Right off the bat, you saying, it's being a watershed moment for the program. I think you're 100% on it. And it's a watershed moment, I think, for a lot of fans like me. I've been a Louisville fan 45 years. And just watch so many times, so many snakes we have in the program, whether it's the board, whether it's former players that have lost their allegiance and now they're all about the personal issues. And to just keep getting hit like that, if this doesn't get turned around, if they do fire Chris or if they do force him, by not reducing this to where he walks, I think I'm probably not one of the few. I'm one of quite a few probably that are going to be done supporting it. I mean, I'm not going to jump to another team. I'll turn all my fanaticism into just being the biggest UK hater I could ever be, just so I got something to focus on. But it's just like all these people talking about, well, HR. He didn't have a guy in a room from HR with a person he thought was a friend. And a lot of you, when you're dealing with a situation with someone you call a friend that's a difficult situation, you almost feel like having somebody else in that room is almost an insult to your relationship.
Not almost, and 100% is an insult.
Yeah, and so I can forgive him for that. It's not worth $250,000 in 6 games. That's and then to announce it the same day that little rat fink Dino gets slapped on the wrist, it's personal. It all reeks of personal. And if they chase him away, and God forbid we had somebody,
You get one, and I'm dropping this bitch ass.
I can't deal with snakes. Just keep getting in. And it's just, that's what's wearing me out. I always loved the program, and I support it. I think Chris Mecca 100% is the guy we need. And if we're doing this to make some kind of stupid little point that doesn't need to be made, you're going to lose a lot of fans, and that's sad.
Listen,
that's all I got.
Oh no, Jim, I do appreciate the call, and I'll say this again.
Kim is next.
Nobody, and y'all know this to be fact. Nobody's feelings are hurt more than mine of having to say some of the things like for me to say, I'm not saying take your money program. I'm saying put your money on pause. Put your money on put your money on pause, because how many times can you just keep on just saying, okay, blind, I'm just going to keep on, pumping my money and not having any influence or not having any, like I said, again, what makes this situation bad is you were given all of this leadership. You know what I'm saying? You were given all this leadership and you gave it it took a lot for everybody to just say, okay, this is a blind trust and faith experiment to say, I believe that you have the best interest.
Yeah.
And then I see something like this and I know if you thought this was the best move for the university as a unit, then you're not capable of running this university. That's the one thing I do know for a fact. If you think, again, HR, timing of the announcement, publicity of the announcement, if you think this is the best decision, I don't need to know details and rumors. I don't need this extra stuff. It's clear as crystal. Whoever made the final decision to publicly suspend Chris Mack on Friday cannot be in charge unless their cooler head can say, maybe you're right. Or unless they can listen to the entirety of the fan base. Like I said, you sprinkle in, like I said, super HR. When the hell does "you'd be fired at my job" work in sports? Are you crazy? When does that phrase, "in my job, you'd be fired"? When does that ever work in sports? Yeah, Lamar would be fired at my job.
Yeah, well, Lamar don't vaccinate either. He would be fired at a hospital, but he's not fired. So, I mean, like
I can't wait. Go to Baltimore and say, I think you should fire Lamar Jackson. He'd be fired at my job. Fired at my job does not work in sports.
I agree with Nick and what Nick was saying off air about we should just blame this whole thing on Dino Gaudio. And Nick,
something weird just happened to Steve's mic. I have no idea. Wait. Oh,
yes.
Nick really spearheaded that.
Keep in mind that Nikki is being a good sport, being that he has a personal relationship with so
yes,
we're gonna
and yes, I will respect that.
Yeah.
So
like I said,
we will leave that for anybody on the text line. Look, because really that's not the talk right now. Actually, if what the suspension hadn't been done, I think the conversation would be over. The video would have been played. We would have went, man, that's kind of crazy. Okay, I'm sure Dino's apologetic for that. I'm sure everybody's apologetic for that.
But that's why I'm like now. Listen, he got caught off guard.
Yeah, he probably was pissed. I don't know what to tell you.
Mac was caught off guard by Dino being that pissed.
Yeah, and probably didn't do. And didn't react in the best way.
And then the university decided
to make this a nationwide story. It was like,
all right, I'm gonna get some break points here. Also, because he's right down in the hallway, I'm pointing at him. But I want to give a shout out to the VP, Drew Diener, for getting that sound. I think we were like among the first in the country to have that stuff. So that was it was a wild day. That was some very
but it makes me turn a side eye at Drew Diener. How'd you get that so fast? Who do you know, Drew?
That was a public records request. Good old fashioned capital J journalist.
Somebody else did that.
Or at least
that came from somebody, Drew.
Right. Yeah.
You got a guy. How much did you pay to get moved to the top of the whose pocket are you in? Drew?
Yeah.
I was just tipped off that it might be a good idea to put that in.
So how about that?
So we were right.
I'm not an investigative journalist.
You got the plug.
But we did have it.
We did.
It was awesome. It was first.
I did see the not the mentions, the interactions, the page.
Yeah,
that was crazy. Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. It was 500,000 last check.
Insane. Insane.
What do you call it? The Twitter.
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
The Twitter interactions. They keep a track of it.
It was that.
Gosh darn it!
But it was good.
Somebody
said Drew got tipped off by WHAS 11. So
okay, Nikki, who we got next?
Next up, we have Kim.
Kim, thanks for joining us on Midday with Marques Maybin. Fire away.
Hi, guys. First off, you all are always the highlight of my day, just to let you know.
Well, thank
you.
you.
What worries me about this whole situation, and I've got 2 points that bother me. Number one is the way they went about this, and I'm talking about the athletic department and also, the board and the president's office. And I am a huge was Neely Bendapudi fan. My kid is a student there. So I care about what happens at the university and have since I was, 5 or 6, which is a long time ago. But bothers me that they set us up for a possibility of litigation on Mike's part because, the way they handled this, he might have grounds for a suit or be able to sue, because of how harshly they came down and what it's done to his reputation and those type of things like that really bothers me. And then the second part that bothers me is we don't really have to look that far to see what happens when you really start messing with an athletic department. Right up the road from me is Bloomington. And that used to be like a blue chip stellar job. And not so much anymore. And I mean, you know, they've got loyal, rabid fans like we do, but you know, how much longer? And how long?
Amy is next.
A small board basically rule everything without taking into a full account of the U of L's full constituency, both fans, students, alumni, like everybody, instead of like, you know, and I know the board gets the final say. I get all that.
What's up?
You know, we're the ones out here supporting you.
All right, gotcha.
That's an absolute fact.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, appreciate the call. And again, it pains me, but you cannot just accept that over and over and over again. You cannot accept that. You know, like I said, this will be your last chance to even make a stand on this one. And again, I don't think litigation's a problem, but again, your university is still built on trust with the fan base. I trust that, you know, they're doing the right thing for the university's behalf and they're not showing off and trying to go CYA, you know. And again, if this was the best decision that you could come up with, you're not the person for the job. And I hate saying that out loud. Who we got next, Nikki? Amy, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
I just want to ask you a question, Marcus. Do you think all of this about Mike and what happened Friday will come up in your meeting this afternoon?
Possibly. I listen, I'm just as curious as you are. Like I would ask you the same question. It could,
but you'll be there.
Yeah,
he will. Yeah,
I will.
You better be.
I will. I will. You know, I'm gonna accidentally fall asleep, Amy, and miss the meeting.
I'm gonna be waiting by my phone, Amy, just waiting for the phone call. So you better be there.
Amy, I do appreciate the call. How funny is it going to be?
By the way, Nikki V and I think Nikki V and Bobby V are going to have the Coach Satterfield press conference.
Can I secretly record the meeting?
Okay. Here at noon.
Can I secretly record the meeting?
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
And not Bobby.
Yeah. Listen.
Who's the most likely candidate to record the meeting?
I don't know. Jerry Eves. Who do we got?
He won't be there.
No, I thought he was coming and walking out. Isn't that what he's saying on his show?
On the show,
yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that.
Where does parent go?
That.
Wait, who we got? Who we got waiting?
Michael, and then we got to get out of here.
Michael, thanks for joining us. Oh, sorry, Nikki. Michael, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Hey, Nikki, welcome to the family.
Thanks, man.
These are my three brothers from different mothers that I love. I just got a real quick comment. You know who it hurts? It hurts the players. It hurts the players and it hurts the fans. And that's what they should have took in consideration all along is the players and the fans especially have been through hell. And they didn't take into consideration that. Now, it's going to hurt Mac because he's not going to be able to coach his players. But it's going to hurt us more because we've been embarrassed and humiliated and put through the ringer. And we're tired of it. And we are hurting over it. And Steve, my brother,
yep,
I got tickets for you if you want to come with me, AEW at the movie theater.
Oh, man. Hey, listen, we might just have to get together then.
All right, my brother. I love you.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate the call. I totally held my producer far too long. No playouts on this one.
No, we just screwed Nikki like all day, man. Just real.
As always, 8150-939 is always the number. 3831-939 is always the text line. YouTube channel is always made for the Ville. Middays with Marques Maybin on 939 the Ville.
At Kroger, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store and pick and pack every veggie in your